Hey everybody, welcome to Thermodynamics and Renewable Energy. I am your instructor, Emily Kopp. You could just call me Emily or M or something, that's fine with me. Okay, so a little bit about myself is that my name is Emily. I am from the Menominee area. I did my bachelor's degree in physics at UWC, right up the road here, and then I did my master's degree in optical science at the University of Arizona in Tucson. And in there I did my master's thesis on solar energy. So it's kind of renewable energy related, and that's one of the things that prompted me to instruct this course. Now bear with me a little bit. This course is brand new and I'm working on developing it myself. So we're still working out some of the kinks. Okay, so this will be a learning process for both of us. So, like I said, bear with me and we'll get through this. Okay. All right, let's get to the details of the course before we move on. Make sure it's recording. Yeah, it's recording. Okay. So this course is being taught during the summer of 2018. It starts June 11th and it goes until August 5th. Okay, it's taught entirely online, and that means that I am not there to hold your hand. You are personally responsible for all of your assignments and your work by yourself. Okay. What else? So my email address is down here. So if you need to contact me, email me. And by the way, I am in Germany, which means that there is a 7-hour time difference. So when it is 2 p.m. in Wisconsin, it is going to be 9 p.m. in Germany. All right, I might not respond to you right away. So be patient. And I will usually get around to my emails about once every 24 hours at least, so maybe except for on the weekends. What else do we have here? I am available by email. Okay, so if you need to ask me a question, email me. Don't come to my office, I am not there. We can, if you need some more help, you can either correspond to me via email or we can set up an appointment where we video chat like this. There's a textbook for the class. I have picked this one, Energy, Environment, and Climate by Richard Wolfson. It is a really easy textbook to read. I can read about a chapter in 30 minutes, and I am not a great reader, okay? It is pretty easy, it's quick, it's fun, it's really informative. I picked it because of this purpose, because nobody wants to read a textbook, right? But because our class is online and I have not created a set of lectures for us, we'll be relying on the content for the class out of the textbook. There will be additional information such as videos or news articles, documentaries, whatever that will have you read to complete other assignments as well. And those will supplement things from the textbook. Note that if I give you something, it might be testable material. All right, so if there is a video during the 3rd week of class, I might test you on some content in that video. All right, so just pay attention to the stuff. This stuff right here is all sort of administrative things that I need to include in my syllabus. If you have a disability, you need some assistance in your course, just let me know. We'll work on that for you. All right. Some more administrative stuff. You can read through these things yourself. All right. Let's get to the assignments and grading because this is a really important part. There are 4 kinds of assignments in this course. Everything is due midnight on Friday. So everything for week 1 will be due midnight on Friday for week 1. Everything from week 2 will be due midnight on Friday of week 2. Okay, I have done this to make it as easy as possible. Instead of having staggered due dates, everything will be due at the same time, period. Okay, that means you can even work on that week's assignments in whatever order you want to. And I have arranged this so that there's about 1 assignment due per day. Now, maybe that seems like a lot, but a couple of the assignments are discussion posts and boards, and those are relatively easy. So you could probably, shoot those out in 15 minutes or so. It's not meant to be difficult, right? Okay, so let's get through the 4 kinds of assignments. All right, there will be assignments from the review in each chapter in the textbook, right? So at the end of chapter 1, there'll be a handful of problems for you to do, right? And at the end of chapter 2, there'll be a handful of problems to do. I want you to type these up, or maybe scan them, write them up nicely and scan them, and then submit those to the Dropbox folder in D2L. All right. So in the back of the textbook, there are 4 kinds of problems. There are questions. I usually assign all of those to you because they're basic definitions. There are exercises that require a little bit of algebra to do. And there are research problems. For the research problems, I usually assign 1 or 2 of those because I find them really informative and more sort of bang for the buck, I suppose. So you would describe it. So you get a lot of information out of not a whole lot of work. And then there are problems called Argue Your Case. I have adopted the Argue Your Case problems so that this leads me to the next kind of problem, so that you can use those as sort of a discussion point. So for each chapter, you'll pick one Argue Your Case, Argue Your Case problem, and then you will write up a post for the discussion boards where you argue for or against or whatever the problem is described. Okay, so for chapter 1, you'll pick one problem, and then for chapter 2, you pick one problem. You can pick any problem you want, and you can argue for or against it. Okay. For every discussion post, there will be a response post that you need to post as well. Okay, so if you picked Argue Your Case problem number 2 from chapter 1, you will respond to somebody else's Argue Your Case problem number 1 or problem 3. Pick one that's not the one that you did, okay? And you respond to them, either say that you're for or against it or whatever, okay? Just make sure that whatever you argue is logical. Remember to cite your sources, whatever sources you use, and please don't just restate the problem or restate whatever somebody said. That's no fun, all right? If you agree with somebody, indicate how you agree, right? Indicate any additional information that they didn't include that helps you agree with them or not, all right? Okay, so like I said, you'll pick one from each chapter and then you'll respond to one from each chapter. What else? There will be weekly assignments. So every week you'll have an assignment that's outside of the textbook, okay? And this will be maybe a video or a news article for you to summarize, or maybe a short report. Some of them may seem longer or shorter than others, but they're generally going to be maybe 2 to 3 hours of work. So if it's like a video and a worksheet, that's 2 hours of maybe watching a video and filling out the worksheet, right? If it's maybe a short report, that might only take like 3 hours to do. It's not that difficult. It's just meant to be informative. And then again, for every weekly assignment, there would be a reflection. And that's worth 5 points each week as well. And for every reflection, or every discussion post, there is a response. Okay, so you will reflect on your weekly assignment. You'll indicate things that you learned, things that surprised you, things that maybe you still have questions about but aren't sure of, whatever. Okay, you can write about anything you want, essentially. And then you respond to somebody else's reflection. Maybe if they have questions, maybe you can answer their question, or if something they said makes you think about something in a different way, write that down. That's all. All right. And so for all of these discussion posts, I'm looking for at least 4 sentences, about a paragraph. You have to write about 4 sentences and respond at about 4 sentences. Really, it's like a paragraph. You can do a little bit more than 4 sentences too. If 4 sentences is limiting, I usually find 4 sentences limiting, so that's fine. So let's look at this again. So the chapter assignments, that's 10 points per chapter. So chapter 1 and chapter 2, that's 20 points, right? for the first week. And then argue your case, that's 10 points each week. And then weekly assignments at 10 points each week. And then if weekly assignment reflection is 5 points each week. So I'll just go up here and correct that. I'll keep it as 10 points per each chapter. I'll keep that as 10 points per chapter. Okay, and then I'll write that as 5 points each. Okay, and that's because you'll have 2 chapter assignments each week and 2 argue your case discussion posts each week. Okay, but only 1 weekly assignment each week and 1 weekly reflection. If that makes sense. Okay, then down to exams. You'll have a traditional midterm that is multiple choice, short answer, long answer. It'll be online, open book. Because it's open book, it might be a little bit more difficult than what I would give you in class. Maybe we'll see how difficult I want to make that. I really don't want it to be a hard thing, but I want it to be challenging. Okay, and then for the final, I haven't decided yet. I wrote down here it'll be open book, multiple choice, short answer, long answer exam. But I am thinking about actually having you do a final, and maybe might have a little poll to see how you feel about that. About doing like for your paper, for your final exam, do it like a paper instead. Okay. So going back to late work policy here. You're only allowed to hand in 2 assignments late during the whole class, and the extension that you get is only for 48 hours. Okay, so everything is due midnight on Friday, but you can hand it in if you get an extension Sunday night at midnight. Okay, you have to ask for the extension before it is due. You cannot wait until the next morning to ask me. Okay. And I'll note that if you email me and ask me for an extension, and then the due date falls between my response, right? I'll pay attention just to when you send me the email, and if you send me the email before it was due, then I'll give it to you. The exams cannot be made up. Here it says that, and this is because. Yeah, I really don't want people to work on it together and go and take it later or something. Okay, so again, I might have you do like a paper or something if you want. I'll probably just poll you or something. The exams all fall on the weekends, so you'll have a whole weekend to work on the exams that will be about 2 hours long. Okay, there will be no rescheduling of that. I feel like it's plenty of time. For grading, I'll use a traditional grading system here. Pretty self-explanatory. And then tentative course calendar, which I have not completed yet entirely. That is still under construction, but I'm working on it. Okay, so for the first week here, you'll have a few things due. So let's go down here to your week 1 assignments. So this is, if you go into the contact section of D2L and you find your week 1 assignment, it'll look something like this. It'll tell you the reading that you have to do. And here we have chapter 1 and chapter 2. It'll have your assignments that you have to do, right? It says answer the selected textbook questions. So from chapter 1, these are your questions that you have to do. Right, and then from chapter 2, these are the questions you have to do. Submit those to D2L. All right. More in the assignments question part. Here we'll have watch the Hans Rosling Gapminder video and thoroughly answer the questions on the worksheet and submit that to Dropbox folder. Okay. Discussion posts. You'll have 3 discussion posts. You'll do a self-introduction that is worth 5 points of extra credit right off the bat. I recommend doing that so you can get to know your classmates. So write down things like preferred name, the year and school year you are, what you're studying, where you're from, why you're interested in taking this course, and then respond to one of your classmates. Maybe you know somebody in class. Just say hello. And then you'll have your argue your case for each chapter, respond to somebody else's on the forum. Okay? And then you'll have a video reflection post, and here's some ideas to get you started on that. All right, and so then everything for this first week, it'll be due on Friday at midnight. And then what day is Friday at midnight? That'll be due on the 15th at 11 p.m. So this is your due date. Okay? All right, I hope you get started. Thanks for taking my class. Again, email me if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you for the rest of the semester or the summer. All right, thanks.